तो पल का ये जीवन है, कुछ करना है तो कर गुजरो। हर लम्हा बस उड़ना है, आसमानों से यारी कर लो। के ऊंची, बहुत ऊंची इन हवाओं में रहना है जिंदगी। तुम्हारी सौ से दिलनशी जबीने कायनात है, वफा की रोशनी हो तुम, बना अंधेरी रात है। शहीद की जो मौत है वो कौम की हयात है, लहू जो है शहीद का वो कौम की ज़कात है। तुम ही से है मुजाहिदो जहां का सबात है, तुम ही से है मुजाहिदो जहां का सबात है। इस पर चमके साए तले हम एक है, हम एक सांझी अपनी खुशियां हो, सांझी अपनी खुशियां और गम एक है, हम एक है। कसम उस वक्त की, कसम उस वक्त की, कसम उस वक्त की, कसम उस वक्त की, जब वक्त हमको आजमाता है, जवानों की जुबान पे नाराए तकदीर आता है। तुम ही से है मुजाहिदो जहां का सबात है, तुम ही से है मुजाहिदो जहां का सबात है। दिल दिल से मिलते हैं तो प्यार का चेहरा बनता है, चेहरा बनता है। फूल एक लड़ी में पिरोए तो फिर सेहरा बनता है, चेहरा बनता है। हो दिल दिल पाकिस्तान जा जा, पाकिस्तान दिल दिल पाकिस्तान जा जा, पाकिस्तान।
Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is Hamdar, our regional sales head South at Packages Limited. I'll be the keynote speaker and one of the panelists with my topic on rethinking the way we sell. I'll be live on Monday, July 6, 2020 from 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. at Pakistan's first ever digital sales conference, as being organized by C2 Management Consultants. Please subscribe to their YouTube channel, C2 Management Consultants, and set your own reminders by clicking the link below. Thank you.
الرحمن الرحيم.
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
Assalamu alaikum and a lovely good afternoon to all. Once again on day 3, zooming into sales, redefining the sales now in the new now, which is a great digital platform for the sales conference. We are here today with this live digitally, globally, and locally. So welcome everyone. I am Saeed Fanul Haq, and I'm your host and moderator for today, and will be for the whole week, which is actually for the next 2 days now, from 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. At C2MC, our focus is to create profound shifts in thinking and the behavior of leaders, teams, and the entire organization. We are honored to also have Dimensions Office as the elite sponsor for this conference. Dimensions Office has been in the business since 1996, who specializes in cater the needs of various industries, including office, health, education, banking, industrial, and also boutique office space. Their global partners include, but are not limited to, Mary Fair from Malaysia, Sonon from China, Rehau from Germany, Actiforce, which is a Hungarian company. Their major clientele includes, but are not limited to, Unilever, Reckitt Benckiser, HBL, Surti and Artistic Garments, Shell, Chevron, U.S. Consulate. I mean, they deal with Fortune 500 companies in the country. I'll now play a video from Dimensions Office, which is a recorded message from Mr. Mahir Shahzad, who's the Director of Sales, to share his opening remarks. So here's Mr. Mahir Shahzad for you.
The simple joy of coffee or tea with co-workers in the cafe, sketching out ideas on whiteboards, post-it notes, and digital displays in comfortable meeting spaces. It's the collective energy and vibe of a space full of people united in a common purpose. Though we are successfully getting some type of work done remotely and over video, we are struggling with the generative work that creates new ideas and solves complex problems. And we are missing the intrinsic human experience of working together, face to face, in spaces that were designed specifically to foster the creativity, agility, and innovation that organizations can be truly productive and grow. But when we return, will these spaces that we love go away because of safety concerns, or will they change? After months working apart, employees now say the main reason they want to come back to the office is to be with other people, socialize, and collaborate in ways that just aren't possible remotely. That's why a diverse range of spaces in the office that support these work modes, and collaboration in particular, will not go away. What's more, they are likely to be even more desired. but they will have to evolve now and for the near term to meet the new requirements of the post-COVID workplace. Coming together in the workplace to socialize and collaborate will become the greatest purpose that the new office can fulfill. And this is one of the commitments made by Dimensions Office to help and support its customers, bringing back their employees in a safe and non-threatening environment. Hello and Assalamu alaikum. I'm Mahir Shizad, and I would like to thank C2 Management Consultants for giving us the opportunity to be the elite sponsor for Pakistan's first ever live digital sales conference. I wish you and your audience a wonderful experience and some great learning, and hope to be part of such a forum in the future as well.
Welcome back. Let me remind you why and the purpose behind the sales conference. Our objective is very simple, and we wanted this conference to raise the level of understanding for various organization professionals by creating awareness that how survival, sustainability, and growth can be achieved with the best possible practices by redefining the need of sales in the new now. We believe that in responding to post-COVID-19, such discussions are very much needed for the business of sales and its transformation. Let me also remind you the outline and schedule for the day, since some of you who are going to be joining it for the first time. It would be comprised of 3 panelists in today's session, like the previous 2. It is divided into 2 parts. First part will be comprised of 3 keynote sessions with an opportunity for each of the panelists to deliver their own keynote on the chosen topic. They will be speaking for 15 to 20 minutes. The second part to be followed by a panel discussion and live Q&A. That's when we will open the floor to take up questions from you, so we can ask the same to the panelists for them to share their reflections on it. You can post your questions in the comment section at any time, and I'll do my best to share your questions on the screen. With this, without further ado, I would now like to introduce our first keynote speaker, Mr. Hamza Rao, who is an experienced and effective in retail, personal sales, currently working with Packages Limited as regional sales head in South region. He's looking after the complete portfolio of consumer goods across all 3 channels of BNI, HoReCa, and Health. He has set a great track record of increasing profitability of business for packages and consistently raising the effectiveness of the sales team's representation. As a leader, he always contributes through personal attention and involvement into the execution of company merchandising, operational programs, and strategic direction. He managed to bag Best Region Award for achieving growth volume and growth value of 21% and 32% respectively during his 1-year tenure at Packages Limited. Previously, he worked at Zong, so at Zong, he has achieved Star Performer and Role Model Award for 5 consecutive years, which has been the highlight of his career. Apart from this, he has been affiliated with esteemed organizations like SPF, which is a sales professionals forum. You can visit their pages on Facebook, on LinkedIn as well. That serves as a catalyst in promoting sales professionalism and leadership in Pakistan. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you are, and good afternoon to you, Hamza.
Good afternoon.
How are you today?
Fine.
Can you
I'm
hear me
fine.
okay?
How are you? Yes, I
I'm
can
very
hear
well.
you.
Awesome, fantastic. Are you working from home today, or?
Yes, I'm working from home because I had 3 and 4 meetings today, and
Fantastic.
you have seen what happened to my laptop even.
Okay. Technology glitches, eh? What can you
Yes,
say?
yes. But this happens for the first time in my life that it goes like this, and I was waiting and waiting and waiting. So, are we live?
So, yeah, we are live, and the audiences, I'm sure they can hear and listen to you and watch you, and hopefully they're really excited about your keynote as well. One thing that I haven't said about Hamza Rao is a, he's somebody, one of his friends, he was telling me yesterday that he is a food psychologist, encyclopedia. He knows about each and every eatery in Karachi, especially. He knows all the food places. So if there's anybody who knows where to eat what, this is Hamza Rao. All right. So
Thank you very much.
I just thought to share that with the audience. So I'm very excited to have you join us today, Hamza. and I hope
Thank you
the
very
audience
much.
is going to have some valuable learnings today. So, right, without delaying any more time, I would like to give the floor to you. All right, so all the
Thank you
best.
very much. First of all, I would like to say thank you to C2 Management Consultants for giving me the opportunity and for giving this opportunity to everybody here in Pakistan, even who are live, for making things easy, for learning, and it's a different now, new now. You see, for that I have actually prepared a presentation so that people can understand that what this new now, or how can we start doing the process of rethinking for selling different things, services and the tangible products. Let me share my screen with the audience. Can you see this?
Yes, we can.
Afan? Yes. Rethinking the way we sell, I would like to start with the one or two saying that a good plan for today is better than a great plan for tomorrow. And I must say that sometimes you must stop worrying and doubting. Have faith that things will work out. It may not be the way you want to, but it will surely be the way it is meant to be. What COVID has brought in 2019 and 2020 for all the industry economies of different world, what has happened, what has impacted the most related to my topic is displayed here, that you can see. COVID proved to be a catalyst in increasing the adoption of online shopping. Of course, it has contributed a lot. Those companies who were not online and were not doing things, digitalized things, have faced different challenges, and now they are on it. As part of, I would be very specific with the retail network and with the shopper insights. That is, 65% retailers have claimed customer shopping size have dropped. But there is another thing that you can correlate with it, which is like modern trade has done a tremendous job, and pharmacies in Pakistan has done a good job. Necessities, commodities, and hygiene products shown significant growth. Unprecedented change, uncertainty, and expenses. Almost half the population is concerned about the job security. Yes, it is one of the factors that people are facing in COVID. So, how and what does a leader's role looks like when these challenges comes around? So this presentation, this is how a leader can think uh, in its own unique way to come up with different challenges that come across his way during these times. First, you can see the how you can take your decisions. What is your role, your life, your actions, your team, your words, and how your knowledge can be transformed into the actions with this consistent velocity of your work that you have experienced in your previous years. Your life should be a role model for your team. Of course, we have seen in this COVID in last 4 months that how motivated you are and how can you motivate your team. That matters a lot, because if you are on the other side where you are where you are responsible for delivering the numbers, you are responsible for engaging the customers, you have to have all these things in your mind to lead a team. Of course, you are dealing with different customers with different times in different circumstances. Things got stuck that people should know ke kis tarah se they have to go about it. Now I would move on to the short and the medium term store solutions. what actually this brought to this COVID in 2019 and 2020. This is a research based thing that I put here onto the screen. Maintaining ability through bulk displays and range rationalization. जितने लोगों ने भी इस कोविड में अपनी चीज़ों को देखा, what they did is they have actually they have restarted their thought process in maintaining a different displays onto different places for their particular products, though it's hygienic products or unhygienic products or any tangible product related to the disposable solutions or not. Counters and services closures with checkout flexibilities, yes, it is almost a big challenge. How did they work? Providing a safe shopping environment, yes, that's a new now. There are a lot of new nows, but this is one of the best that I've observed, and it will last for longer period of time. Flexible opening hours with a customer management and plan inside the store. Of course, we have seen and observed throughout the world that there are flexible hours with all the hygienic conditions for their customers. We have planned, we as a salespeople has planned ourselves that how we go about it. If we have started our day at 12:30 or 1 o'clock, we have to start our day early at 9:30 so that we can meet the requirement of the customers, those who are dealing with the timelines. New stores layouts with the screens and dividers. Yes, it is there. I'll show you a few of the good new nows in this. Expanding online and digital contactless solutions with store-based apps and contactless cash. Of course, there are a lot of things which are now contactless. What we can do to solve this? How can we go about this rethinking process? And we can tap different things where we can sell our products, where we can go and get the weighted numbers, because numeric, yes, of course it is there, but you cannot reach all the way where you want to reach in 7 hours of the day. So tap the right channel. Of course, pharmacies are not being impacted at all. I have observed that there are a lot of pharmacies which are particularly there for the pharmaceutical products with their drive licenses here in Pakistan. But now different FMCG companies are moving there for putting their products on their displays, like I have discussed in my previous slides. For their FMCG, like I have observed that they are selling different snacks. They are selling now biscuits. They are now selling juices. They are now selling cold drinks. I'm not talking about all those pharmacies who are big that we used to go there, but for instance, for this time, you can see they are doing it because everybody wants to channelize whatsoever channel is active and not impacted by this COVID. There are a lot of things that we can talk about related to the SKUs, to how we can capitalize our SKUs. Stock keeping units, of course, pack size have been increased a purchase. People used to buy 1 kg of flour, rice, sugar, etc. Now they purchase 5 kg. This I have observed in different local modern trades in Karachi, particularly, where they used to sell a half kg bag. Now they are selling 1 kg. Those commodities which are most frequently purchased from the shelves are now in a bigger packaging or in a big size, SKU size, so that they can utilize their customer. They can manage the time, those customers who are visiting them. Follow the trends, be proactive, ensure no out of stock for key SKUs, track traces and refill it quickly, because you have a limited channel of around 1 lakh shops who are right now working nationally. Before that, it was 3,75,000 around resellers who are selling every product of every company. So this is how you need to plan your day. This is how you need to plan your SKUs. This is how you need to channelize your things. Now I will talk about the upcoming trends. You have observed that there are drive-in and dine-in now in your cars. You go to different eateries and you will have all the things in your car. Nevertheless, you can see a new drive-in cinema that has started their operation in Village Restaurant Metropole Karachi, where you can eat and enjoy. It's of course a new now. What upcoming trends are there for different dine-in places that we see? Pixie glass, you can see it's there. That would be introduced to different channels also, to schools, probably to universities, to different things. One example that I usually quote for selling and for learning from anyone who is like, uh, an ignorant uh, service industry. The best example for that is Allama Iqbal Open University. If you see that, everybody is now following Allama Iqbal Open University for digitalizing their classes. Those who have never thought about this new now, and they have ignored the value of distance learning, now they are adopting the procedures and things that AIOU is following since last decades. Now they are copying their things, and of course, as it has been mentioned by the Mother Saab in the opening remarks, that yes, there are things, there are different technologies, there are different companies like Telenor who has already announced globally that they have to close their 50% of the offices worldwide because they believe this COVID is a blessing for them. Google has announced their vacations till 2021, December 2020, December 2021, because they feel like it's more productive that you can be at your home, stay there. But for those who are frontliners, who are taking the products to the shops, need to capitalize their things, channelize their things, because if you will not plan your SKUs, you will not plan your day, you cannot move on, you cannot motivate yourself, you cannot motivate your team, because targets are there, recoveries are there, your top lines are there, your bottom lines are there. You have to make sure that EBIT should be met. So for everything, for every role who is there is a leader and has to take care of these things. For consumer behavior shift, I must say, it's of course there are maintenance of health and the wellness. Overall, people are care about it. You can see we have dropped our sales even in different food sectors where we were selling millions and thousands of products. So prioritize products essential to virus and containment, face masks, disposable solutions. You have to be like growing your basket size. Different companies have introduced hand sanitizers, hand wash. I must say, yes, these are the new now. These are the things that we can sell, but but you cannot leave those things who you are selling already. So for that, you have to plan first. You have to take that share. People returning on daily routine, of course, school, work, everything. So that's all from my side. Uh, Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for all the information. You prepared some great slides, so that's wonderful. I'm sure it's going to be very valuable for audiences to learn. You touched upon some great points, especially tapping the right channels, SKUs. The upcoming trends. You have shared your knowledge on that, especially use of plexiglasses. Plexiglass is going to be an important avenue for you know. Uh, different industries to use, especially not just internally for work organizational spaces, but also for restaurants, for example, right? And I never thought about drive-in cinemas. To be honest, I didn't even know about drive-in cinema being open. So that's a news to me, and it's actually reminds me of the old drive-in cinema down here in Karachi.
Yes,
Uh,
in 1980, yes.
in the what was it called?
Gulshan,
Drive-in cinema.
Millennium Mall.
Millennium, right by the Millennium Mall. So I think that's these different cinemas probably would have to kind of think about leveraging the drive-in cinema concept. So the old concept, the old
Things are coming
normal
back.
now to be coming back, right? So that's wonderful. So with this, thanks, Hamza. Now we're going to put you backstage, and we will now move on with our second panelist. I would like to introduce our second keynote speaker, Ms. Hina Shahid, who is a result-oriented and highly driven individual possessing over 8 years of diverse experience in the fields of marketing, product development, and retail, which have aided effectively in formulating and building the brand Hobo and business strategy. She is currently associated with Hub Urban Brands for the last 6 years and working as the business and creative head at Hobo, leading a team of more than 40 individuals. Hina has managed to successfully revamp the brand from scratch. She's been driving the strategic transformation agenda and creating an impactful retail and social media presence. She also has, to her credit, increasing sales of Hobo products by 64% in the year when Hobo's first flagship store was launched. Her business degree, the passion to create, and a drive to take charge in this ever-changing industry makes her enjoy all the challenges. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Hina Shahid, hope all is well with you and your family. Hina, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. So we were chatting just before the pre-conference conversation.
Yeah, long time no see.
This is not that long, eh? But yeah, so all the best with you, Hina. We are equally excited to hear from you and learn from you, especially the retail industry. I think that's a perspective which is, it's going to be you're going to bring a great perspective. And to add to Hamza's point about, how retail, the challenges it has faced in the last 120 days so far, right? So all the best. And now I'll put myself into backstage and leave you with your keynote. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I think thank you so much, Afan, for introducing me the way you did. And it's really nice to be here, as if this is the first time I'm doing this. So I hope I do it right. So basically, my topic is reimagining go-to-marketing strategies. I will be taking you through the current scenarios, what exactly is going on, then the challenges being faced, and what is the way forward. So first and foremost, I would like to say that many of us had created a life which we didn't really need a vacation from. Well, some of us there. But bam, here comes COVID knocking at our doors. Initially, things became extremely erratic and nobody could really make out what to do or how to proceed forward. But the world is now learning how to live and create opportunities for themselves. So as I said, that I will be talking about current scenarios, the challenges, and the way forward. So basically, I will be specifically talking about the retail industry. So the retail industry has seen a massive shift in just a few weeks, months, or due to COVID-19. From consumer behavior and spending patterns to navigating a new normal, retailers must look ahead and online to find success. Innovative supply chain solutions, creative and compelling marketing strategies, and a continuously evolving customer experience will light the path for retailers as they navigate a world after the pandemic and, of course, during the pandemic. Retailers have to adjust their offline and online operations to combat the spread of coronavirus, respond to changing consumer behavior patterns, and retain a fragile customer loyalty. Retailers need to have a trustworthy, powerful, and reliable inventory system for not only their websites, but also their brick and mortar stores, which is capable to cope with sudden spikes in demand, keep delivery schedules stable, and track all product information, exact delivery days timely, and actual data on the product stock and leftovers, and obviously working at the store, how the stores and the warehouses are working. During the turbulent times, customers need to have transparent and reliable information on products they are buying. They want to stay reassured, comforted, and informed. Because, at the moment that they want to know, okay, whatever they're ordering, they're getting it or not, at the right quality or not, what are the timelines, what are durations. Anyways, we can speak about this in the moving forward. So what are the challenges? Well, the challenges for retailers are obviously that for the people who have non-essential businesses, at the moment they're in dismay. They're struggling with inventory carrying costs, rentals, and other expenses. Then there are supply chain issues. Some of the retail stores are still shut down because of certain lockdown in certain areas. Some are running, but obviously the customers are still not, very comfortable in going to a retail store and buying the products. So basically, everyone is currently learning, how to proceed forward in the social distancing environment. So, but the main challenge every retailer is facing is understanding the customers, because the way of thinking, it has completely changed the way the customer is thinking at the moment. So we need to understand what exactly the consumer psyche is at the moment. Like basically, we need to understand the nation's psyche during crisis and what's critical to reaching consumers navigating the pandemic today. Let's peer into consumer mindset. For example, they're thinking emotionally at the moment, not making decisions on rational fashion. They're not buying impulsively. Consumer purchasing power is on a decline due to pay cuts, necessity purchase. People want to save, They have no social meetings. So why should they buy any non-essential, etc.? Businesses need to understand that the personal effects will be long-lasting. For businesses, customer retention is now extremely difficult. Now in front of them, the true heroes, basically the customers, the true heroes are the doctors, nurses, police, employees, delivery drivers, truck drivers, etc., who are making their lives better in this pandemic. Now in this scenario, what should the companies do? While the inclination may be to go on defense by blasting out discounts, the first and foremost, the better move would be to figure out how to reach your customer in a meaningful way. When people are tightening up their wallets, now it's the time to tell a story of our brand's value, leadership, willingness to break the old way of doing business, and ability to have some perspective during this pandemic. It can vary by a retailer's category or its customers' expectations. Right now, the biggest disaster is not that you're going to miss a volume in the second quarter. The true disaster is to strike a tone that seems out of touch with consumers' reality. All the tools of retailing have been thrown out of the window. So now you need to think differently. You need to think the way your consumer is thinking at the moment. So make your communications which are in accordance with current scenarios. Example, you can come up with a content saying, working during quarantine is like casual Friday every day. Things you can do at home, like for example, learn a new skill, exercise, take online courses, you tell them that, yeah, listen, we're in this together with you. So any text used in the product communication should have an emotional connect as per the current scenario. Take out a video showing that your efforts you are making to safeguard not just your customers, but also employees, by showing them wearing masks, gloves, how they're proceeding forward with your deliveries, and how they're taking care of you at the stores as well. Even the delivery people, whoever they're coming, how the measures they're taking, precautionary measures they're taking in order to bring the product to you. So what should the companies be doing internally, simultaneously? So basically, there are certain areas that they need to focus on. For example, product assortment and packaging, digital marketing, merchandising, logistics, partnerships, and customer service are among the areas in which companies must develop capabilities to succeed in e-commerce and brick-and-mortar stores in emerging markets, so that they can proceed forward in a better manner. For example, products, at the moment your products should be up to date and trendy, with offering something which is there, it's more that it was before. For example, having outstanding features, good variants, right spot on the taste of target audience, durable, available, whenever it's required. Advanced assortment can be planned if it's possible at the moment for a retailer to meet the customer demand. Another very important factor is pricing. For example, pricing should be basically in accordance with the current scenario. If your product is not a necessity, then you need to revisit the prices in order to remain in the market. Customers these days are looking for offers with good value for money. So you can't have an exuberant price and expect your customer to buy it. And you cannot come up with a product and think that, oh, it's the best, but your customer may not agree with it. So at the moment, it's very crucial for you to find the right mix, be it the product mix and the price mix. One thing also retailers are facing issue these days is to have a strategy online and offline. Many brick and mortar retailers face pricing dilemma. Basically, if a company sets certain pricing strategy at a store and which is not similar at the online store, so obviously one area suffers. But at the moment, you need to see that where you need to use that sort of strategy, which is obviously e-commerce, because people are more inclined of shopping at your e-commerce store. So, some of the ideas could be like completely shift the selling of low price merchandise from brick and mortar to your e-commerce, because over there you may find customers who are looking for better offers. Then giving mini promotions to untapped markets, like for example in the interiors. Example, you give 20% on the first purchase of the to the people from, let's say, somewhere in interior, let's say Rahim Yar Khan, or you have somewhere from Dadu, a customer, a city where you haven't as yet gone and tapped yet. So you can give a certain percent discount town-wise or interior-wise, and do targeted marketing. You can come up with special deals only for the website, like bundle deals like that. Then different sale timings for both platforms can work as well. Like you have sale online at the moment and you don't have it at brick and mortar store. But that is also a bit, tricky at the moment, because already your brick and mortar stores are not doing that great. Another very important factor is that though you may have a good pricing strategy, your product may be great, but your supply chain and logistics is not that great. So then obviously it will kill the purpose completely. So you need to rethink your distribution model. You need to have the right product at the right place at the right time. So focus on fulfillment model with new points. For example, if your e-commerce site is picking up a certain article from certain area or certain store, you can use other stores for similar articles or sizes as well, so that your customer can easily certain number of sizes can be easily available at the your e-commerce site. Make an effective supply chain process for online. Work on advanced sales forecasting, which is very necessary, I think, at this point of time. So basically, customers, what they require is at the moment is one-to-one personal selling, which is contactless. And also what the companies require at the moment are people who are willing to do that, because it is very necessary to have a good connect with your customer to make them understand that the product they're buying is a good investment. So invest in good people for your organization at the moment who are willing to, connect with the customers, talk to them, understand their queries, understand their issues, and, be at their service. Then reimagine customer experience. Like, for example, what type of customer experience do they want now? It cannot be similar what it was before COVID. It is different. You need to invest more. So it is very important to do consumer profiling, segmentation, especially more and focus especially when those customers are your e-commerce customers. So create a better experience. I'll give you an example. What I face is that, we have come across customers who are not that, tech savvy. They haven't actually, ever bought anything from, website, because they are from different areas of Pakistan, but they would love to buy the product, but they need help in, actually going through the process of till the checkout. So, what you can do is that you can make up tutorials for them. You can make tutorials for them, put it up, and then, help them out in that way. You can make customer interaction center and omni-channel, basically, which is very important these days for everyone, which has call centers, web chats, WhatsApp, emails, social media interactions, and basically an integrated CRM a company needs to have right now. There's a cloud technology which is also, somewhat, in the horizon, when I don't know, like not many people, when it's going to come completely to Pakistan, but it's going to be very essential, where you can actually share the data with each other. And I think it's going to be extremely beneficial. But at the moment, I think it's very important to have a connect with your customer through these channels. You can have, you can find the current customer service with advanced call distributions. If there is only one person who's tackling with customer, you can have 2-3 more people on board to tackle with your main or more and more customers, giving a call to your VIP customers, or giving a call to those customers who are frequent buyers and asking them about the product, did they like the service or not, and getting their feedback, getting customer insight as much as you can. Having said that, also, and since many retailers now have good presence on the Instagram and Facebook, so they can do the personal selling through, Instagram and Facebook as well. Especially for those customers who are not that comfortable doing it, on through your website. That's one of the things can happen as well. So basically, increase the efficiency of your departments who are currently part of your e-commerce, so that they can help out with facilitating the customers. And obviously, you have to really understand the behaviors and needs of your customers. So since I've talked more about e-commerce, let's talk I would like to talk about about brick and mortar stores as well. So what's the experience? How can you make a different experience at the brick and mortar stores for the customers? So basically, first and foremost, it's focus on health and safety. You have to take those measures to make them comfortable to come to your store and easily shop there. Encourage social distancing, make dividers at the checkout. Offer home delivery, they can just call you up, or maybe call your head office, and then you can offer them home delivery, if they're nearby at your stores. Let's say if you have a store at Dolmen Mall, Clifton, and let's say that person is somewhere nearby. So you can easily, drop the whatever they want at their house. So it's pretty easy. That you can also introduce an app, through which, if, for example, that certain store, they can easily, drop off at certain localities which is near to that mall where your store is. Then there's a curbside delivery. At the curb, you can just park your car, and someone from the store can, come and give your shoes or your apparel or whatever you want to buy to you. Then other ways for brick and mortars is that you can connect through WhatsApp. You can send catalogs through WhatsApp, and that's how they can actually select the product, and they have already a product in mind, and they can pick up from certain areas, like certain ways from curbside delivery or whatsoever. And then obviously the follow-ups can be done by your store staff through phone calls, in order to know that everything is fine with the product, or would they like to check out the new collection. There's also could be one thing which is not yet, I believe, introduced in Pakistan, which is contactless payments. Like, for example, paying through Apple Pay. It's not yet introduced, but it's something that should be, because now more and more customers would not want to give their cards or money. They just want to just pay through their phone, and that's it. So let's see when that happens. I would like to come back to the website. Your website needs to be, optimized. The page needs to be fantastic. The product, the description, everything has to be just amazing for your customer to have a fabulous experience that they need to buy, because this is the time that you really need to entice the customer towards the product. So it has to look good on your website, and you have to have the clear pricing. You have to have the clear description. You can give as much information as you can to your customer on the website, so that they feel comfortable in buying that. You can have a size chart. They don't really have to find a way to contact you in order to know कि अच्छा ये मेरा size है या वो मेरा size है. You have to have the clear pricing, the clear delivery instructions कि अच्छा मैं अगर अभी order करूँगी तो मुझे इस दिन मिलेगा. And you have to, you can also come up with personalized product recommendations as well. So you can also communicate, through banners, through a very nice imagery. The visibility has to be really good, where your talking where your product can be seen, but also you have to keep in mind that you need to align that with the current scenario. It has to have an emotional connect. Some of the promotional ideas I came up with and during my research and everything, which I would like to share with you guys as well, is that whatever, like for example, I've talked about already that you need to create a personalized relevant content that would work wonders at the moment. You can create quality content to engage as well, and then ultimately convert the new and existing customers. Influencer marketing will work a lot in this scenario through bloggers, with whom the customers have a personal connect. And then obviously email marketing is something that you can, do a lot, in which you can also send them about how to proceed forward in this sort of scenario. Target industry-wise as well. Like for example, you can give special discounts to doctors. You can give special discounts to bankers or students. You can build up these mini promotions as well and target industry-wise so that you can encourage them to buy from you. Then there are a couple of e-commerce ideas as well. For example, you can capture the abandoned carts. For example, I tell you what the concept is. Like for example, somebody comes to your website and they scroll around, they actually select a product, but they don't buy it, or वो cart में रखा हुआ है. So what you can do is that if they do abandon the cart, you can without buying it, you can actually follow them wherever they're going, being a pest basically. And what you can do is keep on showing that product to them and then offering them a certain discount. For example, if the customer adds something to their cart, then goes to the cart page and then decides to leave the page, a pop-up will appear offering them a discount that if they purchase within the next 4 hours or day, they can they can actually avail a certain discount. So this way they would be enticed to actually buy the product. That's one of the thing. At the moment, I think the marketers really need to understand that where do they want to actually spend their budget, on the ATL activities, which at the moment may not work, or on remarketing and SEO on the website. So because at the moment you can actually have more results by actually spending more for your e-commerce site than for your brick and mortar store. So that's one thing that we really need to understand. Send good contents to our subscribers to entertain, engage them, and keep them in loop with us. You can start a referral program in which you can generate a code that a customer on his or her purchase will get and can give it to his or her friends. This way, whenever the code is used, the customer will get a credit amount of certain rupees, which he can use in the next purchase. So it's also, you're actually attracting new customers as well, and also giving a benefit to your old one. YouTube marketing always works. Suggested videos and all that. Specialties only for website can work. One thing is very important then, at the moment that you must have seen, you are having virtual meetings, you are having virtual interviews, you are having virtual hangouts, tea parties, whatsoever. So why not have virtual meetings with your customer by offering them giveaways? It's beneficial to tap new markets, understand them, get to know them, what they want, how they're feeling during the scenario, and then likewise make your strategies. You can make different online ads for customer as per their demographics, culture, cities. You can focus more on user generated content as well. For example, if someone is wearing your product or someone is using your product, you can ask them to share their reviews, and then you can share that with your customers to really help them and understand. You can buy it as good value for money. You can have a branded hashtag that can go on, and then you can encourage people to just keep on posting something via that hashtag, and then can get famous, and then that's how people will get to know you more. You can start off a loyalty program just for your website or just for your brick and mortar store, just to encourage more sales at a certain platform. You can try and capture new customers by sending some free samples or something that you have in your inventory which is lying there for some time now, but just to check out that how it work with other customers, because customers do like free gifts at the end of the day. So any product that you have, and you can just send it to them, and you can ask them to check them out for you, and that way they will get to know your brand also, and maybe have very good feedback for you. So, and you can the key thing over here is that you can build a relationship with them. So these was a couple of ideas that I had, I had found and obviously researched, or some of them I came up with by myself, so that could maybe help people out. But having said that, I would just say that okay, I know the times are pretty for some people seem bleak, but one should always try to find an opportunity, in any time, or what if in any way you can create your own opportunity. So nothing, like the quote says, is more expensive than a missed opportunity. So that's about it from my end. I hope I was able to give some good insights and some good ideas. So thank you so much
Hey,
for listening to me.
Hina, you want me to stand up and clap for you? Because I can do that. All right? So wonderfully done. This didn't feel like the first time at all. I didn't know certainly that it was your first time.
I think
So,
you're too sweet, Afan. I think you're very sweet. You're too sweet.
I'm honest. I think it felt like almost motivated me. If I was a retailer, you told me all the good things, all the positive things, all the opportunities that anybody from the retail can grab right now and build upon it if they have it. And to all the retailers out there right now, I think you should. This recording is going to be available. You should listen to what Hina was talking about and be hopeful and be positive. I think if you follow what she talked about, I think these are all great points. You talked about customer psyche, because you really you don't know what the customers are thinking right now, and how do you emotionally connect to your website through social media marketing, pricing. I mean, the list goes on and on. I just kept writing. I'm like, boy, oh boy, she's got so much to bring it out, and she doesn't want to stop, right? And then when I was researching your topic earlier on in order to get myself up to speed, I noticed that in US, according to the US source I was reading, and it says May's, for the month of May, the retail surges past expectation in the US market. And guess what? In the clothing accessories, it was up by 188%. And then 89% for home and office furnishings, right? So that made me think, thinking about the stores like yours, thinking about the stores like JDOT, Kadi, and all those guys, great companies out there, because they represent great, the cultural aspect of it as well, right? What are they thinking right now? So I think you just kind of summarized everything into greatly, and I'm sure it's a lot of great learning for retailer marketeers, right? So all the best. Thank you very much. We'll catch up with you, Hina. We'll put you back in the backstage, and now it's going to be a third in time for me to introduce our third panelist. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can just hang in there. His name is Tariq Aslam Qureshi, Mr. Tariq Aslam Qureshi. Let me say that. He has over 16 plus years management experience. With the last 8 years, he has been a contributing executive in the growth of Multinet Pakistan Private Limited. He had several roles, including from senior management, deputy general management, international carrier business, and now serving as the head of international carrier business. He's an excellent professional, having proven records of effective, efficient, and smart project operations management. He's also a telecom computer systems engineer, having the expertise at design, configuration, implementation, and procurement of data and communication networks. He's technically very sound at strategic planning, designing when it comes to layout for the optical fiber, voice over IP, cable broadband, and WLL network infrastructures. This is something which you might or might not know about him. He is also a teacher. And he's a great role model for many of the students out there, since he is associated with CBM, which is a great educational institute here in Karachi, which is Institute of Business Management. And he teaches there. He teaches a variety of different subjects. So it's my honor and pleasure to introduce Mr. Tariq Aslam Qureshi, and here he is on the screen. How are you doing, sir? Tariq, can you hear me?
I'm good. Perfectly fine. Sir is totally not necessary over here. We're friends, and that's how it should continue. Glad to hear from you, Afan.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure. I had an opportunity to work, to be in the same peer-to-peer group with Tariq. So he's an excellent. I am a personal advocate to that. He brings a lot of great detail. He's very informative. He's got great knowledge, and I'm sure with his pool of knowledge and bulk of knowledge he's going to share with you, I hope it's going to be great benefits for all the audiences out here. So Tariq, I'll leave it with you. The floor is now yours, so that you can take the keynote and share it with the audience. Thank you so much. I'll catch up with you in the panel discussion after.
Great. Thank you, Afan. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. All the attendees over here, and a hello to my fellow panelists also. Well spoken, guys. You have made it very difficult for me already, because the way you have converged on all the ideas leaves no room for me to be explaining about anything. But yet, I'll try to make an effort. So, thank you, gentlemen. It's good to be over here, given an opportunity to share my thoughts on how I see the challenges of this new world, and how I see some lucrative opportunities arriving and arising from them. So, I might not be talking about what exactly is the way you will be handling the market situation, all what requires to be done as far as connecting to the customers is concerned, because we are still learning. This is a new normal. Connecting them remotely, visiting them with all the safety precautions and things like this. We are learning all that. But what I'll be highlighting about is something which pretty much converges around what kind of a sales strategy we should be adapting in such a situation that we are stuck in, and we are not sure how long will this situation continue. So here's what I look at the situation as. So I'll ask you a few questions. I know it's not a voice interactive platform, so I have to answer them these questions myself for you. What are the top challenges we, the sales teams, typically the B2B sales teams are facing today? One, we are facing a lot of difficulties reaching the right customers. Either the customer is not available, or he's not reachable, or he's not connectable. And then we are finding it even more difficult to get to the required customer, because maybe the gatekeeper who is listening to us for our B2B solutions is not the right one. He's not the decision maker. Then the overall sales cycle is elongating, and it's becoming more and more frustrating. The requirements of the customer are expanding tremendously. All what required us to sell something in 4 weeks is now possibly taking 8 weeks, because the customers is requiring a lot of more details about the solutions we are promoting. The sales enablement itself has become a difficulty, and then the cohesion of marketing and sales team is becoming a challenge day by day. What do we do? Is it all the problems relevant to the market? Not really. I firmly believe, and that's what I've learned from the smart sales leaders around me, that possibly the problem is in our sales strategy. Maybe we need to revisit our sales strategy, especially when it comes to B2B sales. I would like to explain about this, taking you through the transition of the various sales models we have traversed across. So back in the 1970s and in the past, we have been doing the alligator way of selling: show up and throw up. Just come in front of the customer, start bragging about all the feature sets that your product or your services have, and try to knock the customer down so that he's impressed and he buys you. That's not working anymore, guys. So 1980s onwards, people have hopped over to solution selling, where we play more of a role of a consultant, talk to the customer, know their problems, and try to find a solution to their problems. So that's where we landed into the realms of solution selling, whereby we are trying to solve the customer's problems. And that's something that's prevailing since 1980. But in the new normal, even that's not something that can guarantee success for you. Here are the reasons why. Are you sure that the problems you are solving for your customers are really their problems, and especially in the new normal? Is the customer really able to comprehend what their problems are? Are these really the biggest problems that the customer is facing? No. Majority of the times you'll come to the realization of the fact that the customer is talking about the problems that are not really their problems. So where do we go from here? This reminds me of a saying that one of my teacher in NED taught me about when we were going through software engineering. He explained that, guys, do not plunge into a problem where at the end of the project your customer tells you, this is exactly what I had asked for, but that's not what I wanted. So guys, this is what we need to avoid. Solution selling, where you are fulfilling a solution, a problem eradication model for your customer, might plunge you into a problem. Let's not do that. So what exactly should we be doing? Focus on the outcomes. So another teacher of mine at my business school used to teach me that whenever you are confronting a business jargon, the best way to define it is by going to the literal meanings of the words. So what is outcome? Outcome is the way that things will unfold consequentially. So this is where our focus should be as B2B sales teams. Sell outcomes. You need to enlighten the customer that what you are offering them as part of your solutions is not only an answer to the problems that they are facing, but has something bigger to achieve. You are here not to sell your product. You are here to get the customer an assurance for an outcome that their business is in demand of. Commit an outcome. Define the outcome that the customer is looking for. And that is where your success probability will increase. The customer might not even be aware of the outcome that you are trying to explain to them, but that's where smart leaders will play their role. Explain them that the outcome you are trying to promote to them is going to bring an efficiency in their system, bring the cost down, reduce the human cost requirements. Maybe sales fulfillment will improve. Maybe the time to deliver your solutions will be lesser, and maybe the customer satisfaction will grow by certain percent. According to Gartner, 50% of all the solutions that are being bought by organizations are not bought by IT teams or the front-end functional team members anymore. Who are the guys who are buying it then? Buy these solutions then? These are the business owners. Now, the business owners are directly involved in the purchase of the solutions that the organization is looking for. And guess what? By the end of 2020, Gartner predicts that the business owners, the core leaders of the organization, will be 80% of those who will be taking the decisions on what exactly are the solutions that we are intending to buy. Does this make the equation even more difficult for you? No, man. This is making it even easier for you, because this time around, you are talking to the procurement specialists and supply chain managers who have graduated from the business schools and have landed into your customer organizations and taking the key roles as part of the steering committees of the organizations. And they are closely aligned to the visions, to the overall ambitions of the organizations. And they are the guys who are aware of what exactly are the outcomes demanded from the certain solutions that are being sold. So this makes your equation even better for you. And I'm telling you, in the prevailing times, in the new normal, in the midst of COVID-19 challenges, all these procurement specialists are only focusing on outcomes. So if you have evolved as a sales agent, as a sales leader who is not selling just the product, or he's not just selling just the solutions to the problems, he's actually selling the outcomes, man, you're in safe zone. So how would you evolve as a as a sales professional who's selling outcomes rather than just the solutions. It cannot happen overnight, man. You cannot wake up one morning and just think that you are an outcome seller today. It has to be a very smooth transition, especially when you are going to talk to your existing customers. So, how would I approach the scenario where I'm going to an existing customer and yet trying to sell them the outcomes? I'll walk in to my customer's boardroom, still acting as if I'm here to sell solutions. I'll continue talking about the feature set of my product. I will continue trying to inspire my customer with the way my solutions are going to solve the problems for the customer. But just when the situation starts to boil up, just when the customer starts to engage me for the questions, comments, inquiries, or probes more about how I'm going to solve the problem, this is where I have to hop over to selling or promoting outcomes. This is where I have to engage the customer and trying to ask them, is the problem for which they are considering my solution is the biggest problem that they have? Is this the problem that they are facing in times of COVID-19? Is this the problem which is going to last long for them? Is this the problem which is really contributing to the overall efficiency of the organization in terms of cost reduction, customer satisfaction improvement, better turnaround time for the customers? Are they really focusing on the outcomes? And this is where I'm telling you, my friends, the moment the conversation transforms into a situation where you're talking about outcomes, this is where your first opportunity to crawl in comes. That's where you turn yourselves into the role of a consultant who's talking more about the outcomes that the customer is eyeing for, the outcomes that even customer might not have thought about, the outcomes that are most critical for the customer organizations. And that's where things will start mid for you. But be aware, my friends, claiming any outcomes should be backed by some past proofs. Claiming any outcomes should be backed by an amalgamation of your organization, your team, and your skills, knowledge, abilities, and proven records. All the outcomes that you're claiming should be backed by proven benchmarks. They cannot just be outcomes. They have to be backed by facts. The outcomes that you're promoting should be critical to the industry. You cannot go to one industry and tell them about outcomes that they're not interested about. So you have to do your homework. That's where insightful selling comes in. Your outcomes must be substantial. Your outcomes cannot just be something very minor that the customer is not even concerned about. Your outcomes, the outcomes that you are trying to advocate should be understandable by the customer. The outcomes that you're talking about should come through the process of the same set of solutions that you're giving them. You cannot change the distribution channel or the delivery channel. The solutions should remain the same, but now their focus turns from problem solutions to an outcome to the organization, and that's where your probability of success will improve. So, what will be the key outcomes of your outcome-based sales, guys? The customer is least likely to ask you for discounts. Because the moment you're talking about the outcomes for the organizations, there goes away their concerns on what is the cost of the solutions. The discounts sought will be much less. One, your quota fulfillment will be much easier to obtain because you're given a quota to sell 100 products. When you're selling outcome-driven sales, believe me, you can fulfill your quota with less than 25 sales, just a hypothetical number. Your increase, the win rate, the win probability increases. The deal sizes are much larger when it comes to selling outcomes. That's not in the case of solution selling. The conversion rate is much faster because now you have kept a hand on the pulse of the customer. And not just the customer, the customer organization who's looking for outcomes. And above all, my friends, the customer is retained. In the new normal, in the challenges of COVID-19, where every single customer organization is trying to get rid of all the unnecessary vendors, if you are the ones who's talking to them about their outcomes, you are most likely to be retained. And if you're just retained, if you're not able to upsell or cross-sell, the kind of a confidence you'll develop in their minds will ensure that you will be the first one reached out to as soon as the normalcy returns, because you are the one who's talking about the success of the organization. It goes back to the same basic that we have studied about in the business schools: customer value, customer success, customer delight, customer outcome. Focus on customer outcome. It will enable you upsell, cross-sell, and if it's not enabling you to do cross-sell or upsell, it will make sure that your customer is bound to you. The moment the opportunity arises, you will be the first one to whom the customer will reach. And that's where you will be the first one winning the war when the normalcy returns. So I rest my case here, my friends. Outcome-driven sales is what you need to focus on in this new normal. Talk about your customer's success. Focus on your customer's outcome. Try to be a source where you are an active contributor to the customer organization's success. And there are various parameters where your existing solutions can assure that. And if you're doing that, man, you'll be loved by your customer organization. And there's one more thing. You're saving a lot of time. You're not traveling these days. You're staying at home. You're working remotely. Our client meetings are not taking us to the busiest of streets in the city. A lot of time is saved. Even your sales squad is not, at least they're not fully utilized for the whole of their 8 hours. Now they're left with a certain portion in their daily work life. This is where you as a sales leader need to put in your efforts. One, work out a way on how you and your sales team will evolve as an outcome-driven sales squad. Two, what is your role as a sales leader in outcome-driven sales team? Three, how would you want your sales team to be trained, mentored, improved, so that the moment they're able to reach out to their customers, they're talking about outcomes in a more efficient and an effective way. Trust me, guys, go the way of outcome-driven sales and you'll fire fast. You'll go great guns when the times return to normalcy. Rest my case here. I'll be happy to address any questions that come my way. Thank you.
Phenomenal, Tariq. Thank you so much. I loved the quote from Gartner, as you rightly said, right? The business owners are the 80% of the times they are the ones who are going to be involved in decision making, and since they are the ones who are close to the organizational the initiatives and goals and overall mission and strategies, it's not the IT department anymore, right? It used to be 50% of the solutions by the others, and now it's going to be more engagement from the business owner. So that makes you think that solution sellers really have to think about becoming a outcome sellers, right? And if one needs to evolve as an outcome seller, and as you rightly said, it's not just going to happen overnight. It will require some practice. It will require some transformation, and whenever you are trying to become an outcome seller, hopefully one can be able to master it. They have to back it up with facts. So great. I love it. You know what? This is a phenomenal pieces of keynote sessions today. We will now bring the other two panelists as well in the discussion, and we'll take up questions because keeping the time in check is almost 5:15. So once again, thank you, Hina. Thank you, Hamza. Thank you, Tariq, for addressing and sharing your valuable thoughts with the
Thank
audience,
you.
especially with myself. We'll take up the first question, which is going to be up on the screen soon because I'm sure there. I was watching the comment section and there are lots of questions. So the first one come to the screen is from Mahim Siddiqui. She asked for what major challenges has your sales team faced while staying connected to the customers due to this pandemic? Who wants to take on it? So what major challenges has your sales team faced while staying connected to the customers due to the pandemic? Hamza, you can go first if you
Yes,
want.
uh, challenges that we have faced during this pandemic was the major challenge was of the Horeca channel, where all the hotel, restaurants, and cafes were off, and team was so deprived because no one was even replying to us because of all the problems and the rapid of the cases in the country. So this was the main factor. One of the factor that I must say here is a panic buying factor that become a challenge for us in the month of March, followed by the April, and then we took a sales dip in May because those panic buying trends had actually uh, impacted our annual numbers and the second quarter or the first half, the second last month. So, how did we take up all these challenges positively in our company? We actually engaged the customers, as even Tariq mentioned, that we must be the customer centric rather the sales centric person. So we have focused on the customer, that where should we go. We have changed the channel where we can get more sales. Like we were having a contribution of around 30% of my Horeca channel in my particular company, and 40% of the BNI, business and industry. So we have shifted the focus from Horeca to the BNI and increased it to 80% till June. So this is how we have channelized things, and we managed to get the sales number because it is always there, and the strategy that was much needed because every week we have different challenges in this pandemic, in term of the lockdowns, in term of the timing of the customers, in term of the other challenges like the layoff of the employees, that those people you are interacting in February and March are not there even. So to whom you can go and get the payments and everything. So we have shifted our mindset to different channel, and we become more customer centric. We have filter out the uh, vendors where we can only uh, gauge their outcomes, particularly with respect to our hygienic products. There is another thing that I have seen in the comments is how can we go for the mergers even. So I must say here that Packages recently had merger with the SC Johnson, because both are the hygiene companies. So they rub shoulder with the same company and acquired their almost 50% share in Pakistan. So now we are selling all the solutions, disposable solutions, and even the cleanliness solutions in Pakistan with SE Johnson. So I have addressed actually two of the questions here.
Wonderful. Hina, yourself, since the inside retail sales to transitioning into on an e-commerce platform, all the things that you've touched upon, do you think Hobo has achieved that already? You
Not
established
really,
yourself?
The thing is because the retail stores were closed down quite a number of months, and still some of them are under lockdown. So basically the marketeers have become the sales people now, and since we're connecting them on daily basis through Facebook, Instagram, on social media sites, through our WhatsApp, through calls. So that's how we are trying to connect with them. And the challenges that we have faced, that obviously the customer at this point has become very much aggressive, in the sense that they want the product on time, it has to be perfect. They don't agree with the fact, oh acha covid hai to delivery kuch hai, देर हो सकती है. They don't care. They have purchased something from you, they want the best services. So that's a bit of a difficult part for us at the moment to to handle them, because obviously the sales team is equipped to do that, but the marketing team who's at the backside is not. So the one first and foremost is to train ourselves that, okay, fine, this is our customer and this is the way they are right. Even if they don't understand situation, they are absolutely correct. We need to handle all situations. ठीक से करना चाहिए उनको, deal करना चाहिए and make them feel comfortable as much as possible. So yes, I would like to say that in the month of May we learned a lot, because being into retail, the retailers, that was the biggest month for many of the retailers, because Eid आई थी, and many of us learned, had a crash course, I would say, during that time. And I think we are better equipped now for the next season.
Awesome. Now the same question. Sorry, go ahead. Yes.
Hello, Mr. Tariq. I would like to say you have quite a fan following. I've been going through the comments, and quite a fan following you've got there.
MashaAllah.
Thank you, Hina. It might have been because of a number of platforms I have spoken at, but the way you delivered it, I'm sure you're surpassing me very quickly.
Absolutely not. Thank
So
you.
welcome on this front, Hina, once again. And I'm sure we can all learn from Tariq as well, because he's spoken many times in different platforms. So Tariq, same question does not really apply on your organization, especially your international carrier business, because you and I, we were having a chat previously, and you did mention Tariq's team has already knocked their sales targets for the year out of the park. So by August, or we're in July, sorry. So by June, I think by June he's already achieved his target.
Don't jinx it, man. Don't jinx it, man. Not to be shared publicly.
Okay. All right.
Don't jinx it.
All right. Don't jinx it. But they've done a phenomenal job. So do you think what major opportunities? So I'll reverse the question. What major opportunities your teams faced, during this pandemic in the last 120 days? Sorry.
So, what kind of difficulties are you talking about? Let me try to converge on it with respect to the current question being floated. You know what? No matter what kind of business you're in, not connecting to the customer, not meeting them periodically, just create an effect. Unless whosoever is able to meet them. So yeah, we taken aback slightly by this. We go to some global events where all our key partners meet and greet each other, and that's where the relationship strengthens further. One of that event, which was supposed to be in Atlanta, got called off. We couldn't meet them. The next one was in Shanghai. We couldn't go there. Nobody could reach there. But we made sure that we are still connected to the customer. In fact, we are getting even more time to connect with our customers working from home, because even they are not traveling, nobody is driving, nobody is getting stuck in the traffic problems. So we have even more time. In fact, I can share you, and I have to take it into Urdu to make this joke sound better.
Yeah.
तो मेरा एक कस्टमर इंडियन है, वो तो कल कह रहे हैं, ए भैया ऐसा नहीं लग रहा हम रोज बात कर रहे हैं, कल से जो है ना अल्टरनेटिव बात करेंगे. So it is coming to that point कि वो इतनी ज्यादा बात हो रही है कि वो कह रहा है यार अब अल्टरनेटिव बात करेंगे, ये तो रोज होने लग गई. So things are shaping up nicely. I haven't suffered anything because of this remote connectivity, because this is where my business has been all around, or and even the competition could be, because I'm closely connected to my competition also. Even they are not facing any trouble connecting to their customers. So we are good on that front. B2B market can then reaching out to the customer even remotely is not a problem. We are still able to function properly.
So Tariq, same question as I posed it to Hina. क्या आपको लगता है कि आपकी team has already transformed into becoming a outcome seller as per your topic, or do you think there are still opportunities for your team to deliver on that, or are they right?
Great. The kind of a business I am in, Afwan, if I'm not a outcome-driven sales team, I'm out of the market.
Yeah.
As simple as that. It has to boil down to that. So our consideration. So we are into a very technical business. It is all about fulfilling a single customer's unique requirement to a particular location with certain quality parameters. So if you're not fulfilling all of them, you're not getting that sales, man. So
Yep.
we are an outcome-driven sales team already.
Mm-hmm.
We are only improving upon it in the recent times because now the requirements have become even more particular, and that is where we are getting the opportunity to improve ourselves.
Awesome. Now, as anybody wants to add, you can certainly add until we take the next question. So this question is this is my wife, by the way. She's asking this question. So everyone, I'm introducing my wife indirectly to you. Sana is asking this question. So she's watching it. Perhaps that's why Tariq has encouraged her to ask this question. How should B2B companies deliver outstanding digital experiences and encourage loyalty, addressing length of ordering process, difficulty of finding products, technical glitches with ordering? My God. Okay, Tariq, please make an attempt.
Let me try to make the most of this opportunity first.
Sure.
भाभी, अफान बहुत अच्छे आदमी है. इन्होंने मुझे कहा था जब आए तो ये बोलना है, तो मैंने बोल दिया. Okay, जी. How should B2B companies deliver outstanding digital experiences and encourage loyalty, addressing length of ordering process, difficulty of finding products, technical glitches? You know what, Bhabhi, when it comes to B2B companies, it is not about finding the products. The companies who come in to buy solutions from you are the VIPs here. They will not go into your product deck and find ways to reach out to that particular product service. They are VIPs. They will simply tell you what do they need. And that's where you start your white glove services. You understand their requirements and you develop a solution on the basis of their requirements. So if you're able to pull this off rightly, then the loyalty is there. So I recap it saying, when it comes to B2B sales, they do not go into your product portfolio to be able to find out what they require. They will simply mention what they need, and you have to bring out the best available solution, best available price, very competitive means of fulfilling those requirements. Technical glitches, you can't even let them think about it, because if they think about it, they're not picking your call next time.
Awesome. You know, Marguerite Zimmerman, who's our CEO, she's also watching you live, Tariq. So she sent me a message. She goes, he does a great job, doesn't he? All the time. And Hina, you have also impressed her. And she talked a great deal about Hamza. So she loves all the panelists. She's in Canada. She's watching it live. So you all are on her computer right now.
You can tell Marguerite, I promise that I'll behave, and I'm behaving.
Yes, go on. Okay, so thank you for that, by the way. So one of our part of our program is, for this conference, what we wanted to do is we've got 5 of the internees who started working with us last week. So we wanted to give an opportunity to one of the students every day of the conference so that they can come live and ask you a question. I don't know the question that he's going to ask. He's a fine gentleman. He's a bright student of IBA. His name is Wajuddin Sheikh. So he will be up on the screen now if we can bring him from the backstage, and he will be asking you a question. So this will be good, great for the self-esteem, for the other students who are watching. This should be a platform. Hopefully there's a platform for the students not to just ask questions in the comment section, but ask a question for the leaders in a setting like this. So we thought, this is going to give a great confidence to Waji himself, inshallah. So Waji, you can ask your question, please, very quickly, if you don't mind.
Thank you, Mr.
Hi,
Afnan.
Wajuddin.
Hi, Hina. So I'm Wajuddin Sheikh, and
Hi,
currently
Wajuddin.
hi, Hamza and Mr. Tariq. So I'm currently a marketing intern at C2MC. I want to say a special thank you to Ms. Hina, Mr. Hamza, and Mr. Tariq for coming here and speaking on these amazing topics. It has been an excellent learning opportunity for not only for me but for many other students to come here and watch these experts live. So now coming back to the topic, my question for today is regarding the increased prices, specifically in the retail industry. So in your opinion, could you please share that how has it affected the customers' purchasing and customer retention? Could you please share some insights or recent trends?
Shall I take this first?
Sure.
Yes, I think he asked you, Hina. Right,
that's
Waji, is this the question?
My question is for all the speakers.
All the speakers, okay.
Yeah.
Great. Hina, you can go first, please. First.
So basically, retail for necessary items is different for the unnecessary items. So let's say if you increase the sale of the necessary items, that's something that the customer has to buy. They can't live without it whatsoever. So their reaction to increase in sales, increase in prices may not be, like obviously they will be screaming about it whatsoever, but at the end of the day they'll buy it. But when it comes down to the products which are not necessary, they're luxury items. So, at this point, I think any retailer who is planning to achieve their margins that they have thought or dreamt of, they can dream on because that's not going to happen. Because at the moment they have to, make the pricing strategy in a way that can actually be acceptable to the customers at the moment. Because at the back, they're actually carrying a huge inventory. Because obviously all the retailers, they plan ahead 6 months time, 8 months time, and that's how they build up their inventory. So but they just lost 3 months of sales. They didn't have any sale whatsoever going on, and now after Eid again there is a dead period going on. So that's how you need to understand. And obviously you cannot set on the price that you had for example projected कि अच्छा इस time पे हम इस amount पे हम भेज देंगे. But that's not going to happen for you anymore. So you need to understand that your pricing strategy needs to change. But having said that, I think you can come up with a strategy in which you can actually balance out your margins. There's still a chance. You can put certain offers for certain time period. Let's say you can come up with flash sales, and then again you can start off selling on your normal prices for the week, and somehow trying to balance your bottom line. It's difficult, but it's manageable still, I feel. But obviously, as I said, it's you have to really understand your customer, what they really require, because at the end of the day you're also trying to retain them. So this is a bit of I think this is a time when you really have to use each and every approach that you can find that can be beneficial for both the parties. So yeah.
So I would like to, before answering to him, I would like to ask one question from him. Are you a BBA student or an MBA student?
Sir, I'm a BBA student from IBA Karachi.
Okay. So why did I ask it? Because I need to start answering you on the same mind so that you can understand that how it goes. There are two kind of things that we account for a price increase in retail, in any product, in fact in service industry also. if you're selling an imported product, there are different duties. Those are impacting on the imports. That is ultimately a cost that one has to bear, and ultimately it has to be paid by the customer. Number one, Vaji. Number two is if you are a local manufacturer, how does cost affect onto a local manufacturer? If you have a, I would give you a very good example of rose petal versus the other converters. Rose petal is a packages group of company who is a national company. There are 8 different competitors here in Pakistan who are actually a domestic competition. We can have different competition in South, we have different competition in Central, we have different competition in North. The cost that incurred by the packages would always be premium because we have to have all the sources or the factors those are impacting the cost of good of a company would remain the same. We cannot lay off any single resource of ours from any of the our assembly line. But on the other hand, they if they got the imports at a cheaper rate, the converters they sell it on a cheaper rate. But if you this is how you can work on these different cases. If we talk about biscuit industry, if we talk about confectionery industry, if we talk about oil industry, if we talk about milk industry, तो इनको जो factors impact कर रहे हैं बिस्किट्स कॉन्फेक्शनरी एंड स्नैक्स को, वो इसलिए कर रहे हैं कि यहाँ पे जो बच्चे स्कूल जा रहे होते थे और वो सेल्स मई तक बहुत अच्छी कर रहे होते थे, वो दे आर नॉट डूइंग देयर सेल्स राइटली एंड दे डोंट हैव एनी अदर चैनल टू सेल देम बिकॉज जो बच्चा है those bachas are the best users of all these FMCG and very FMCG products, which is beverages. If you talk about Coca-Cola, if you talk about Pepsi. Now come to the Hina's topic that how clothing and other wanted products, I must say, because commodities are different and the wanted products are different. I am a big buyer of wanted products, a brand conscious man. फरवरी तक ही था, उसके बाद मैंने I asked my wife to bring out my every cloth that I did not wear. I told Afan that I have reduced 13 kg weight because I want myself to get fit in all those dresses so that I would not expense out in this and I don't want to go to the stores. But one fine good morning, I saw Amir Adnan is offering 80%. और मुझे रोज आना सुबह शाम खाने से पहले नमाज से ज्यादा मुझे मैसेज कर रहा है कि आ जाओ, तुम आए नहीं बहुत दिनों से, व्हाई डोंट यू कम, 80% ले लो. ठीक है, देयर आर फैक्टर्स. भाई मेरा दिल ही नहीं कर रहा है अब जाने का, मैं क्यों आऊं आपके पास लेने को. अब मुझे नहीं पता वो 80% दे रहा है या वो 180% दे रहा है, लेकिन मेरा मन नहीं है वहां पे लेने का. ठीक है, अगर मुझे लेना होगा तो आई विल गो एंड परचेज इट एट 100% कॉस्ट. ठीक है, if it is not the requirement or a wanted product, तो I won't go for it. हाँ जी, आम मिल रहा है, खूब चौंसा खरीदा, 150 रुपए आपने भी खरीदा, तारिक भाई ने भी खरीदा, हिना बीबी ने, सब ने खरीदा. अभी ये 200 का होगा, खत्म होता जाएगा, महंगा होगा, आप भी खरीदोगे वजी, हम भी खरीदेंगे. वजह क्या है? डिमांड एंड सप्लाई है. ठीक है, आम एक बार आता है. तो ये डिफरेंट फैक्टर्स होते हैं जो कि इम्पैक्ट कर रहे होते हैं आपकी प्राइसेस को. कौन सी चीज सीजनल है, कौन सी चीज सीजनल नहीं है. इस वक्त जो सीजनल प्रोडक्ट है वो है कोविड ने सबको सीजनल प्रोडक्ट कर दिया है. हैव यू एवर heard about a telco industry is losing 20% of their recharge? I was being part of telco for 6 years and I was leading South region for 1.5 billion when I left this company Zong, and now it is at 1.3 billion again. मतलब वो सारा कम होके और नेशन वाइड अलग है. तो इट इज इम्पैक्टिंग बिकॉज लोग अब घर पे हैं, बहन भी घर पे मिलने आ रही है, भाई भी घर पे मिल रहे हैं, बातें ही नहीं हो रही, तो भाई लोड कैसे बिकेगा, सिम कैसे बिकेगी रोड पे? दिस इज हाउ इट इज इम्पैक्टिंग एवरीबडी। इंटरनेट है, अभी मैं फोन से कनेक्ट हुआ हूँ, 7-8 बार कॉल आई, मैंने काट दी। पीटीसीएल बारिश हुई कल, खराब हो गया घर का, ठीक है, अब वो जब आएंगे तो सही हो जाएगा, कोई मसला नहीं है। लेकिन द पॉइंट इज यू नीड टू डील विद द न्यू नाउ, you have to make your own choices, you have to see कि आपने क्या चीजें कैसे खानी है। अच्छा, अब मैं थोड़ी सी एक चीज, थोड़ा लंबा हो रहा है जवाब, लेकिन बड़ा अच्छा सवाल है इस बच्चे का।
नहीं, प्लीज गो अहेड।
हाँ, कि जो बिस्किट बेच रहे हैं, या those who are in confectionery business, those who are in snacks business, what they are up to,
Yeah.
they reduce the size of their packaging, they reduce the grammage, and ultimately you know what, customer shifted. मुझे नहीं याद पड़ता मैंने कभी सुपर खाया होगा, मेरी बला से सुपर इतना मोटा था या इतना पतला हो गया, मैंने कभी खाया ही नहीं। हाँ, कैफे खाता था मैं बिस्किट, कैफे अभी भी खाता हूँ कभी मौका, आई एम नॉट अ वेरी बिग फैन ऑफ बिस्किट्स, लेकिन हर किसी की अपनी चॉइसेस है। बंदा कैन शिफ्ट फ्रॉम वन ब्रांड टू अनदर इन एफएमसीजी, दैट इज व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड एफएमसीजी प्रोडक्ट। सो दिस इज हाउ द प्राइस इम्पैक्ट। और जो नेशनल कंपनीज हैं वो अपनी प्रोडक्शन लाइन को और चीज़ों को कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं कर सकती, क्योंकि उनको आगे भी सेल्स करनी है। एंड इंशाल्लाह आफ्टर सितंबर यू विल सी वी विल कम आउट ऑफ दिस पेंडेमिक इंशाल्लाह।
Inshallah.
Great. Tarek, you want to add something or fine? This question was more
Well,
pertaining to retail.
That's what I'm thinking, and then the way Hina and Hamza have elucidated upon it leaves no
Yes.
room for me. Oh, I can do one thing. Yeah,
Yes.
I like the way he posed this question, and he's a very good kid. You guys have put in a good show, guys. Or the way, Baji, you have mobilized it on social media is commendable. Good job.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Great, awesome. Thank you very much, Majid. Much appreciated. You know, एक चीज तो मेरे ज़हन में हमेशा आती है कि you know I've never been a big online buyer myself, लेकिन you know anytime if I wanted to buy a pair of shoe, for example, right? How would I, you know, rightly buy a right size for myself, right? Especially जाके उनकी बड़े shoes बड़े अच्छे लगेंगे या मुझे।
Don't buy it, please. Don't buy it.
Right, and I almost think यार अब मैं इस हैसल में क्यों पड़ूं कि मैं मंगवाऊं, फिर वो शू आए, अरे यार वो साइज 1 नंबर छोटा निकला, वो मैं तो यूएस साइज समझ रहा था, वो तो यूरोपियन साइज निकला, वल्ला वाला, you know, and then I say यार to hell with it, and probably just because of that, you know, one of the panelists yesterday, he shared that percentage, 70% of the Pakistani people in culturally, they are still it's a challenge for them. They're still not so used to the online medium of buying and getting on board. So Hina rightly touched upon that when it comes to using tutorials and educating your customers. I mean, I think I need a great education when it comes to, you know, when it comes to at least shoes, right? So with this, you know, it's 5:42. It's already, we went overboard. If I can ask each one of you a quick question before we leave. What does this really last 120 days have taught you personally? What is your personal takeaway in the last 120 days since March 23rd lockdown?
I must say it's patience and your thought process. You need to start your thought process because it's not the way you are living in. So you have to restart it, or you have to get things your way because things are not coming your way easily. Things are not spreaded everywhere. That I used to say during my different guest speaker sessions that pearls are spreaded everywhere. Go and grab it. So now those pearls are not everywhere. You have to hunt it. So and patiently. So this is what my learning. You need to keep motivate yourself. You need to keep motivate your teams because things are not really not normal. जो कि पहले पैसे भी लोगों को मिल जाया करते थे जाके डिफरेंट क्रेडिट्स में, थिंग्स आर नॉट, बहुत सारे लोगों के बिजनेसेस जो हैं वो बैंकरप्सी की तरफ भी जा रहे हैं, विच इज़ नॉट अ गुड साइन, बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली और फॉर्चुनेटली दिस वुड हेल्प देम ऑल्सो, दिस वुड हेल्प अस ऑल्सो, but we have to rethink again that how can we move on and keep moving.
Great. Tariq, yourself?
Well, my biggest realization in these 120 days has been that the biggest asset around us is people, is all the people around us. Our families, our co-workers, our customers, our partners, our direct suppliers, indirect suppliers, industry acquaintances, competition. They're the biggest asset. I've started valuing them even more, and I think it has brought me even closer to them in these 120 days. And then on a personal level, I've realized that we had developed unnecessary, absolutely useless habits, which we are finally getting rid of, only till the time normalcy returns, because we are very, 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 deteriorated characters. The day we are back to normal, we develop those habits again, but at least we have thrown them away for a little while.
Great. Thank you so much. Hina, yourself. One
I
person
don't know
feedback.
if I would make sense or not, but well, you see, I noticed around me, people lost hope very quickly, and that was something was kind of shocking for me, because I understand things have become difficult. Like before starting off my presentation, I did say, "Ke bam, COVID aaya." It was a shock. People was not expecting it, but that's fine. Aa gaya. So just it's not that ke zindagi khatam ho gayi. It's not that people. I've seen around me that people have stopped being grateful for what they've still got. So for me, this time taught me to, like maybe, know the fact that, listen, I may have not the same life that I used to have, but hey, I've got this opportunity to learn new things. Chalo, ye nahi ho raha, ye kar lo. Ye nahi ho raha, ye kar lo. Ye nahi ho raha, ye seekh lo. I couldn't do that during the time when I was like working full time, because I didn't have I had a certain routine, okay, this is a time for work, this is a time for socializing, this is a time to, spend time with family, this is a time to travel, all that. But I have ample amount of time right now to learn new things, to, maybe take over my life back again and do something new. So one thing that I noticed around me, that this I saw a lot, and still a lot of people are going through. I know that for a fact that it's not easy for everyone to tackle with the situation. It is very difficult. But I think everyone should try. Should try the things may be bad around you, but listen, you still got it in you to get the thing, to make the things work out, and bring things together again. So I would like to always be available for those people, and all. That's what I live by as well. कि listen, एक avenue नहीं है, दूसरा खुल जाएगा, दूसरा नहीं है, तीसरा खुल जाएगा, तीसरा नहीं, चौथा खुल जाएगा. That's how we should move forward.
Awesome. So with this, thank you very much to all my Supreme panelists. It's a wonderful opportunity to have you all join us today. Thanks for personally agreeing to join this conference. I hope we have brought great value for our listeners. I'm 100% sure we have, because all the key things that you've talked about through your topics has been just phenomenal, just excellent. So with this, wonderful to have you with us live, and we look forward to letting our audience know that we'll be live again from 4 to 5:30 p.m. tomorrow, which is going to be day 4. And tomorrow's panelists are going to be as equally great as today's and yesterday's, and I'm sure they're going to do a phenomenal job with their topics as well, because it's going to be a different perspective. Remember, it's all about the perspective that we're trying to bring for you, right? They're different industry leaders, and they may talk about the same things, but their experiences might be different. So hopefully you're going to learn a great deal with the speakers tomorrow, inshallah, again. And to the panelists, we want to request, also stay tuned to our channels and watch us live again tomorrow and see the different panelists. So once again, thanks again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Hamza, Hina, it was a pleasure meeting
Yeah, same.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you
Bye
very
for now.
much. Love.
Bye.
Love.
Thank you.